Hello, friends, and welcome to the final video of the apple season sew along. How has your apple season gone? It has been so wonderful to get to know lots of you, start following you and sharing all your makes on social media. It's been such a great month. Thank you so much for such a fun time. I love apple season, and we'll have to think about what we should do for next fall. So if you have a fruit or a vegetable that you think would make for a great sew along next fall, maybe it should become an annual thing, just pop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. Welcome today. So today we're going to talk about finishing your quilt as well, because we're going to be getting there closer, as well as what's coming up for October. And also we want to highlight the new tutorial in the Makers Club this week, which was part of apple season as well. So it was a craft tutorial. You can do it with the grandkids or the kids, and it's just great to take to school, to share with the teachers, great for teachers' gifts because it's apples. So that's on the agenda today. Let me know where you're at with your quilt. So has anybody finished their quilt that's watching live today? So if you have, just put it in the comments there and tell me, and if you've quilted it or not. So this is the full-size quilt, and I did a all over pantograph. If you're curious, I'll have to find the name for it here. It was an independent artist. I actually bought it on Etsy from her because I really liked it. It had little leaves. I think it's called Sweet Pea. I should have remembered for the video. Sorry, that's my apologies to this designer. So it's called Sweet Pea. If you want to know what it is, just message me and I will find it up. And I can link it in the video as well. So I did it all over one. It's just beautiful. I love it. I made it quite small because I like dense quilting, and that is how it is. I wonder if you can see it on the back. No, because the back is a strip, so it's hard to see on the back too. All right, so piecing your blocks together, laying them out is so much fun. You can put all of your apple blocks pointing straight up. Their leaves all go in the same direction. You can mix and match where you place them. You can follow the front pattern and the layout descriptions for the quilt or the baby quilt, the crib quilt, or the table runner, or you can rotate them as however you want. Because they are square 12.5-inch unfinished blocks, you can completely scramble them and rotate them, so they can be rotated on here like an applesauce before you mash your applesauce up, so they can be rotated there. In the table runner, it's really nice if they're rotated some in each direction, because then anyone sitting at any part of the table gets an apple facing at them. So you can decide how creative you want to be with your layout. You sew them together. It's really nice if you press your seams in one direction for each row. There is no sashing in this quilt. Thank you very much. You're welcome. There is no sashing in this quilt. So maybe some people love sashing. Do you? Do you love sashing? You can tell me. But there is no sashing in this quilt pattern. So you can press all your seams in one direction that way and the other direction this way, so that they all seed together really, really nicely at all the intersections. Just make sure that all your intersections are joined together nicely, and there you go. You can bind your quilt by hand or by machine, and you can enjoy it for many years to come. Are you giving this quilt away, or whatever you have made for Christmas presents? Or are you keeping it for the season? Are you going to display it for a while? I can't wait to see and hear all the things. So the tutorial that came out on Monday inside the Makers Club, but everybody can see it, whether you're a Makers Club member or not, is the apple garland craft tutorial. And so it's this cute little apples. These ones are made out of felt, and some of them are sliced in half, and some of them are sliced in quarters, and they're just adorable little apples that you can hang over your teacher's desk. You can hang over your fireplace. You can hang over by your kitchen table. It's just really, really, really fun. You can use all the colors. And this one I made for the tutorial, I made with Benzie felt. It's like a wool blend felt, and I just love like the feel and the consistency of it. Comes in so many wonderful colors. And I use this Fabric Fuse Quick Bond fabric adhesive. It's also by ThermoWeb, and it's great. Even if I'm going to sew, so even when I'm going to sew stitches, so stitching around, I still like to fuse these pieces and these seeds. I actually didn't stitch my seeds. I just fused my seeds on there first. And I like to use this fabric fuse glue for that. And I like to do that because it holds it in place. I don't accidentally shift it around. I can take it then and do my hand sewing. So I spend most of my days in my sewing studio here. And in the evening, I like to do hand sewing with the family. With the kids come home or go watch them do their sports or watch my favorite show on TV or just, in a different environment, space. And so I like to be able to take all this stuff without losing all of my seeds and pieces and things. So I'm using like Aurifil gorgeous floss, embroidery floss. I did it in matching colors, and then I could just take this with me. I took my already fused apples, and then I could just do the hand stitching in a more quiet sort of evening space for myself. So that's sort of how I operate, and I love that about that. If you also love paper, so this is a great craft, I should say, that kids could do. So this is not like working with a hot glue where it's harder for little kids to use. They're already comfortable using glue. It has a really nice fine tip too. So I should say that this is a great thing that you could do with your grandkids or your children too. It's really fun. So you can take the same pattern, the same SVG cut files, and use them on paper. So you can use them on felt with a Cricut maker or some kind of a cutting machine that has a fabric capability. Make sure you change your setting to felt if you're using felt. But if you are using paper, you can just use your regular Cricut or just any paper blade. And you can make paper apples with the templates too. So it's super fun. You can use them just like this. You can put them for place cards at Thanksgiving. You can put them for, your fall supper. You can put them on people's plates. You can make little teacher's cards. So my daughter did this, and she just put a little stamped ruler on the edge. She kind of just drew that and put an apple there. So it's a great little thank you for being an excellent teacher card for any time of the year. It's great to have a couple of those. You can just add a couple little colors to the back and make a simple card like this. And then, of course, you can just have extra apples, extra paper apples on hand for whatever you might need them for. So this is also a really fun kids craft, great for scrapbooking, all the things. And so it's really, I'm going to use the green one here. It just, it's really nice if you're going to give this quilt to someone. You can make a little card with them with these apples on it. It's just so much fun. It really is so much fun, isn't it? So so you can enjoy that. So I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again too. So you can go see the tutorial for this. It's on the Be So Inspired website. If you want to get the files for cutting the PDF patterns in the SVG cut files and all that stuff, you can become a monthly member. There's no cancellation policy. There's no, you can start today and cancel tomorrow if you want. Obviously, we want you to stay for longer, but you can definitely do that. Monthly members get the monthly patterns of the month that come out, and you can see those in the main category under Makers Club. But if you join the annual, then you get access to all the monthly ones plus all the back content. So it's so amazing and so much fun. So that is apple season. Keep sharing well into October, November, December. I want to see all the apples. Please tag me at Be So Inspired. Just because apple season is wrapping up at Be So Inspired, it doesn't mean that apple season is actually wrapping up. So even if you make a recipe that we shared with you, please do tag me in that too. Next month is going to be very exciting as well. So my very first fabric collection, two things, but my very first fabric collection with Riley Blake Designs, it was a mini collection. It was called Be a Superhero. We're going to be doing Sew Along next month for the doll panels. So we're going to be doing sew along for the doll panels. So these are not quite stuffed yet, but we're going to do all the stages we're going to talk about. There's so many tips and tricks. Don't be intimidated by a 3D item. You can completely do that, especially with the panel. We're going to walk through it. There's 3 different panels in 2 different colorways. So there's 6 panels in total of the dolls. And then there's also 2 cape panels as well, dress up panels. Perfect for Halloween coming up if you celebrate and you want to be a superhero for Halloween. So maybe you want a doll and a cape. So you can find those fabrics at your local quilt shop. If they don't have them, you can ask them to order them through Riley Blake. And we're going to start that next month. And also in October is the release of my second fabric collection, Forest Friends. So it will just be hitting the shops sort of like sometime in October. So you might see a little bit of that on social media excitement happening as well. But we will be focusing here on our videos, our weekly videos on the Be a Superhero doll sew along. And we want to talk a lot about how we're going to use those dolls and all the things we can sew with them, the quilt patterns and the pillows and all the things, how we can use them to lift up others. So that is the thought and inspiration behind that collection, that we want to use our craft and our talents of creating to, bring smile to people, to give encouragement to children or people that are in need, people that are maybe going through a tough time or an illness. Everyone really is a superhero. We're starting a new hashtag for that. It's called Superhero Movement, because it really is a movement where we are lifting up all of those around us. So really hope you can continue to join us all through the fun. I hope that you can sew along with us as well. And I can't wait to see all the things. So have a wonderful day. Happy September, and have a great apple season as well. Talk to you soon.